All right, guys. So I'm going to do a video on the openings for January 2023. Happy New Year, guys. Hope you guys had a good Christmas. For those of you wondering, surgery went well. I had to stay an extra day in the hospital due to not tolerating the anesthesia very well. But I'm back home. I'm about to end the pureed food stage and enter the soft food stage. So in about 4 weeks, I'll pretty much be back to normal foods and trying to figure out what my body likes and doesn't like. For all of you that reached out to me, just checking on me, asked me how things went, everything was great. I appreciate you guys checking on me. I'm going to try to make this really fast this week. Again, as I always do, I'm going to list every single region down below with the timestamp of when that region was discussed. Some regions have a lot of openings. Some regions don't have very many. So if you just want to find your information for your region, you can look down below, find a timestamp, jump to that part of the video, then you don't have to watch the whole thing. I do want to say before we get started, for those of you in Region 2, which would be Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, and Oklahoma, I'm going to save you some time. There are no openings right now, but for everybody, including you, or especially you, Texas, the fiscal year for Walmart starts February 1st, and I'm being told by the recruiters that there's a good possibility there's going to be openings that are going to come up in the month of February. So next month, hopefully they'll tell me what those are going to be a little bit ahead of time, and I can let you guys know to be watching for them, because I don't know exactly when they'll get posted. They don't know exactly when they'll get posted. The best they can do is tell me this month there'll be postings or next month there'll be postings. And right now, word through the grapevine is a lot of things are going to happen February 1st because we're at the end of their fiscal year. So that's the best I can tell you for Texas right now. I know there's been a lot of you guys asking. Florida, same thing. I'm hearing there's going to be some openings in Florida, possibly February, maybe March. They're not 100% sure right now because they haven't gotten all the reports and the info. We'll know a little bit closer to the end of January. Again, I'll let you know in the February. But I do have some Region 6 news that we'll get to in just a minute. So let's get started with Region 1. This is California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, Southern Utah. They have a very high need at Red Bluff, California. McCarran, Nevada, and Hermiston, Oregon are the other two locations that are looking for people. I don't know exactly how many, but I do know Red Bluff, California is in a high need right now. For those of you that are wondering, well, what kind of money am I going to make at these locations? I've shown my paycheck. If you look through my videos, there's a paycheck after the new raise came out of what my money is. Keep in mind, I'm in the middle of cornfields. I travel through mostly Indiana and Ohio. Most of the roads are 55 mile an hour because it's state road, county roads, things like that. I get a little bit of the 60 to 65. All the trucks are governed at 65 anyway. So my money may not be as good as the ones in Texas or Kansas or some wide open state like Montana or Colorado, things like that. Well, Colorado, I guess in the wintertime, that's probably going to slow you down. But anywhere that you've got a wide open space where you can get to somewhere quick, get your activities, get that money for those things, and then get back on the road quickly, you're going to make more money than I will because I'm in a 55 mile an hour area. I'm in hills, I'm in curves, I'm in old country roads, a lot of little towns, got to stop signs every couple. It's all going to be different. What I can tell you guys is the average driver should make between 100 and 105. This year, I took a lot of days off. I had a lot of stuff going on. My base pay is going to probably land somewhere around 97, I think, when I checked the pay stub most recently. I know guys at Gas City who make 105 to 110, and they've only been there 2 years like me, 1 year, 2 years. Some of those guys may run a little harder than me. I had a 5-2. The schedule also matters. If you guys want a good breakdown on schedules, I did a video for schedules, and I may delete that one and post a new one. that is a little bit better, because it's very hard to explain the schedules at Walmart because they change so much. So what I did is I created a word pad or whatever, a template of each schedule and the pros and the cons for each one. I didn't do a money breakdown because it's going to be hard, because where you live is going to make a difference. I know California, they don't get as many miles, but they get an extra $6 for stopping at a DC. Does that make a big difference? I don't know. But anyway, if you want, I've got a frequently asked questions guide now that I give to everybody that emails me. Email will be in the comments down below. I've got the pre-trip guide so that you can get an idea of what the pre-trip's going to be before you get there. And I've also got a schedule note, or whatever you want to call it, that I can give you. And it breaks down each schedule, pluses and minuses, why this one might make more money than this one, why this one's better for home time, why this one's better if you're local or over the road, those kind of things. So, yeah, if you want all that information, my email's in the description down below. Click on that and I'll send it to you. Region 2, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Oklahoma. I forgot, I already told you guys there's no openings right now, hopefully next month. Region 3, Illinois, Iowa, Colorado, Wisconsin, Kansas, Missouri, Northern Utah, Nevada, Wyoming. Not a lot of openings. There is a big demand in Spring Valley, Illinois, which is halfway between Chicago and Iowa, right on Route 80, just west of Joliet. You're going to service a lot of areas. You're going to be doing Iowa, Wisconsin, Illinois, and probably, I don't know if you'll get as far south as Missouri, but you're going to be in that kind of an area. I don't know if that's a GM DC. If that's GM, again, you could be just about anywhere. Watch the GM versus grocery video that I just did last month. I think that's been a real big help. You guys have told me that explains it real well and gives you guys an idea of where you might want to go. But that one, Spring Valley, Illinois, huge demand. If you put an app in for that, you're going to hear back very quickly. Bolingboork and Elwood, Illinois, are also looking for drivers. I don't think there's as high of a demand, so if you want one of those spots, jump on them now. Also, Ottawa, Kansas for Region 3. Region 4, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New Hampshire, New York, that would be Maine, Delaware, and North Carolina. There's a lot here. If you live in one of those states and you're looking to get on with Walmart, you can do it today. Let's get into this one. Sutherland, Virginia. And this was great because Dee Dee and Michael, the two recruiters for this area, did a great job, gave me great information. You guys are going to love this. Sutherland, Virginia, there's a 5-2, 5-3, 4 p.m. depart. I don't know how many are available, but that's what they have. They gave me the schedule, so you guys know exactly what you're looking for. Normally, when you get in somewhere, they are going to just say you're going to be on 5 Xtra, which means you work 5 days. You usually start on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. You're not going to have weekends off, but openings pop up all the time. As soon as that open, they'll send you a little email. You go in, put your name on the sheet, and it's done by seniority. Some guys don't fill out. Then nobody wants the 5-2, 5-3 because it's 1 day short of the 5-2, so you make a little bit less money. So unless you got a reason why, maybe on that, like for me, when I was on 5-2, 5-3, it was the most money I could make, but I still had that extra day off every 2 weeks, which I really needed because I have a 2.5, 3 hour commute back and forth from the DC. So by the time I got home, half my day was shot. On a 2-day off, that weekend just sucked. So I needed that third day. I have just recently accepted a 6-3 position when I get back at the 1st of February. 6-3 is great for me because I'm not worried about the money as I am the home time. That's my balance. Everybody's different. If you want the money, stay on 5-2 Xtra. And I explain that in the schedule sheet that I'll send you. 5-2 Xtra is going to make the most money because you can extend. When they have the extend bonuses, it's $250 just for doing an extra 6 hours of driving. So, but that's all broke down in a thing. I'm not going to go into all that right now. But 5-2, 5-3, 4 p.m. start. Sutherland, Virginia. Mount Crawford, Virginia. They have a 6-3 or a 5-day Saturday out extra board. So that's what I was talking about. You'd actually have Fridays off, but you're going to go out on Saturday. Usually it's in the morning, probably 9 to 11 a.m. Sometimes they start as early as 7, but a lot of drivers try to grab those early starts. But again, you could get on that 5 Xtra, do it for a while, bid on something else. Raymond, New Hampshire, they've got a 5-2, 5-3, a 6-3, and a 5-day out extra board. Norwich, Connecticut is a 5-day out extra board. Johnstown, New York, same as Raymond, 5253, 63, and 5-day out extra board. North Windham, Connecticut, they have 10 go-home daily positions and 10 regional, or what they call OTR, over the road, 6-3 schedule. Quick note on the go-home daily, though. If you're going for the North Windham, go-home daily is going to make a little bit less money than the regular driver. And some guys get in and they do the home daily and they're like, I'm not making the 110. You're not going to, because at Walmart, it's not about the mileage. It's not about the hours you put in. If you're doing go home daily, you are missing that $42 layover every single night. You're almost $250 short every week of every other driver out there. Now, if you're that close, you go home daily, that's great. If you want the go home daily, a lot of guys want that. Don't care about that extra $250. Comes out to about $5,000 a year, I think, maybe. Maybe it's a little less than that because on the 5th day you wouldn't get a layover anyway. But either way, you're going to make a little bit less money doing go home, but you're going to get to go home every day. You're going to run a day cab instead of a truck with a sleeper, so it's a little bit easier to maneuver. And you're going to run a lot of local loads. You're going to get a lot of activity. So, some guys like it, some guys don't. It's all a preference. But if you're looking for go home, they've got that there. Marcy, I don't know where Marcy is. I didn't check that one, and they didn't put a thing on there. I'm gonna guess it's between New York and Pennsylvania based on the way this list is going. Marcy has a 5253 and a 63 and a 5-day extra board, so you can pretty much take your pick of what schedule you want. Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, they're looking for the regional 5-day out extra board. Pottsville, regional and local home dailies. Home dailies, of course, need to live within 60-mile radius of the DC. I forgot to mention that. That is something that you have to do, but they will not let you take a home daily if you're not within an hour, because they don't want you traveling 2-3 hours, putting in 12 hours. It doesn't work. That's how that driver got in that accident with that comedian a while back, was because he had a long commute, got in the truck, and was tired the next morning. It says they have multiple schedules to choose from for Pottsville, PA, with the home daily and regional. Lebanon, Pennsylvania, local drivers only. There are 5 Sunday departs, so you'd have weekends off at 9 a.m., 11 a.m., and they have 5 Tuesday departs at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Linden, New Jersey, 15 regional drivers. That's the guys like me. You stay within 250 miles of your DC, basically a regular driver. Looking for 15 of those. Thursday departs, 10 a.m. and noon. Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, looking for local drivers only. 7 Sunday departs and 8 Tuesday departs. Johnson City, New York, 19 regional drivers and home daily. They're looking for 19 drivers. They have regional and home daily positions, multiple schedules. Woodland, PA, 5-day extra board. They don't say how many spots. Bedford, PA, a 5253 schedule, nights only. They're looking for 30 people. I'm going to tell you right now, based on that information, I think they just started the meat and produce at that location. When you run nights, you get an extra 7 cents per mile. And you get, there's an extra 7 cents for something else. I can't remember what it was. But you're going to make more money running this overnights. And if you can get let's see, what are they offering? The 5253. If you live close, that's great. If you don't live close, you might want the 6-3 like I've got, so that you can commute. And the other thing about the 6-3 schedule, again, this is all in the schedule thing, you have to save, and 5-2 extra, this is for you too, most of you. If you're going to work a 6th day, if you're going to extend, if you're going to work a 6th day, whatever it is, during your 5-day week, you can only work about 11 hours a day. You've got to kind of cut back a little bit, 10 to 11 hours a day, because on that last day, you must have 6 hours of drive time available. You can have 8-9 hours of total time. You must have a minimum of 6 hours. That's the rule. So if you've got 6 hours of drive, but you got 7 total, they're not going to work you the full 7. That's why you got to have 6 drive. So they can send you to somewhere that's maybe 2 hours away. You drop and hook or live unload, whatever it is you got to do, and do your 3 hours back. So you might eat up 5 to 6 hours of that total time So you're only working like a half a day. Then you go home, you've got a full 70 in for the week. You dang near maxed out 69 hours based on those numbers. Then you got 3 days off, plus that half a day that you kind of fudged because you could only work a half day on that 6th day. So you get a lot of home time with the 6-3. But you're going to get your PTO, and you're going to make decent money because you're maxing out your hours. On the 5-2 Xtra, if you're working 5 days a week and you're the kind of guy that runs like me, maybe 11, 12 hours a day, you're not going to max out to 70. You're going to get about 60, which means you're leaving 10 hours of possible PTO on the table. That's up to you. It's how you're going to hear this 1,000 times at Walmart. You are the captain of the ship. You run that ship how you want to run it. If you've got the availability and you got to a certain spot, you want to shut down a little bit. You can't shut down too early every day, because then what happens is every day your clock starts earlier and earlier and earlier. And by day 3 or 4, if you're supposed to have a 9 o'clock out time, well, now you're 5 a.m., 6 a.m. out time, and it interferes with the rest of their schedule. And they'll tell you, hey, we can't give you a load until 7 a.m. So it could screw you up if you try to shave too many hours. But if you're on like a 6-3 schedule, they know you have to shave your hours. So they ask you to take maybe 11 hours of downtime instead of 10, so that your hours don't creep back too much. But you figure when you're creeping your hours back and you're only working a half day on that 6th day, it's kind of like working 5.5, but you get home real easy, and then you got 3 days, 3.5 days to do whatever you want. And you're still making decent money because you're doing the 70 hours, like I said. So that right there, what was that? Bedford, PA, 5253, nights only, 30 people needed. I'm going to bet they're doing the meat and produce. You get a lot of activities doing that. Like I've told you guys in the past, there's many times I do 3 to 4 stores in a night, maybe do a pickup on the way back. I'm getting activities out the wazoo. This is still Region 4. Waynesboro, PA, they need 9 drivers. Hagerstown, Maryland, 7 drivers. And Chambersburg, PA, looking for 4 drivers. So if you're in Region 4, you got your pick of the litter to go just about anywhere you want. Now remember, if you're picking these places, you must be within 250 miles of that DC to be a regional driver. 60 miles if you're trying to be a home daily driver. Region 5, that is the region that I'm in. Right now, I did not get a report back from the recruiters in this area, but I do know, just based on talking to other people, Seymour, Indiana, that's the main hub where you do all your training and stuff. They're always looking for people. Gas City, where I'm at, as far as I know, they're still looking for people. And Auburn, Garrett, Indiana, they're looking for people, because my understanding is there's another company, I think, that's there, and they're trying to push those guys out. That may have changed by now because I've been off for a little while. I'm not exactly sure, but I know Auburn, Garrett's looking for people. Region 6, Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, South Carolina, Florida, North Carolina. Again, Florida, Holden. If you're looking for Florida, hang on. I know it's coming. Just don't know if it's going to be February or March. But in that area, if you're in the northern part of Florida, what I have been told by many, many, many people, go to Douglas, Georgia. They're looking for people. They're always looking for people, because what happens is people who live in northern Florida that are within 250 miles of this place, they get on there, they get their 1 year in, and then they transfer down to Florida somewhere. So Douglas, Georgia, always looking for openings. Great way to get into Florida if you can do it. Brundage, Alabama, and Shelby, North Carolina. That's it. That's what I've got for you. The list is a little lighter right now. Like I said, it's the end of the fiscal year, and they're trying to figure out what's going on for this new thing, or new year. They also have started the fleet development program that I told you guys about. I still haven't heard if I'm going to be getting one of those positions. It doesn't look like it. There's only a few available right now, and I was told during my interview that every time I interviewed, they were pretty much had the number of offers out that they were looking for. I would have to have a driver say no thanks, and then they would be able to send me an offer. I can't imagine why a driver would turn this down, but whatever. I haven't heard anything on that. So as far as I know, I'll be back in the truck come the first week of February, and I should have a February report for you before I go back to work. And hopefully there's some good news in the February report. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in a bit.